Oh, I think we are live. All right, let's give this a second here. Let's let some folks join in. We are doing an unscheduled live stream. Let's give this a second here. Let's let some folks, because we're going to talk about Cyborg. Give that a second here. Give that a second. I know this is an unscheduled live stream. I did not plan for this, but I just wanted to. I wanted to share my thoughts. I wanted to share my thoughts on the teased image of a cyborg. Wanted to check that out. Give me 1 second right now. We're gonna wait one more minute, and I'm gonna let some folks in because I want some audience participation, and I'm gonna share my thoughts, and I'm going to ask the audience what they think about this, what they think about the whole cyborg situation here. Good morning. I figured that. It is 10:46 p.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas, and I know on the other side of the world, it is about, 1:30, right? In Hong Kong, it's about going on 2 o'clock or something like that. And then in Europe, it's probably in the morning time or so forth. So I was busy working today. Get my microphone here, make sure that you folks can hear me. And we're going to talk about Cyborg. We're going to talk about the teased image from Hot Toys. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about or haven't been keeping up with the news in the collector industry, collector world of Hot Toys. 6:50 a.m. in the UK. Wow, Ninja Squirrel. Thank you for sharing the time. I know in Hong Kong it's going on 2 o'clock. So yes, it is in the morning time. This is unscheduled. This is more of a late night rant. It'll just be me, nobody else. I won't have any guests. This is just I had a lot of thoughts. I had a lot of thoughts regarding Cyborg right here. The little teased image here from Facebook here. And I want to go on the record and I want to say I never thought in a million years that Hot Toys would have teased and released a Cyborg figure. Honestly, I would have never thought about that. Would have never crossed my mind at all whatsoever. But they did it. They teased the image of Cyborg, the Snyder cut, because the image clearly shows it's a Snyder cut version of Cyborg, which is the one that everybody loves anyway. I've seen it 4 times. It's crazy. Saw it twice at home, and when I go to the gym, I remember when the film came out, I would just play it on my phone because it was just so fast-paced action. I honestly really do love the Snyder cut of Justice League. It was just the whole story behind that is just so fascinating. But yeah, for DC fans, it is a big deal. Hello, Gabe. Happy for DC fans, but damn, I really miss Unique. DC fans, I really miss the unique relations of Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, and Pennywise. Yes, yeah. See, that's the perplexing mystery, right? We have 40 plus pre-orders that Hot Toys has announced, and they decide to tease an image of Cyborg just out of the blue, out of nowhere, and it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense at all why they would do such a thing. Why they would tease a character. I mean, they my honest opinion, I feel like they missed a boat. They should have taken advantage of the tentpole situation when the film came out on HBO Max, just like every other toy company that took advantage of the tentpole marketing. Tentpole marketing is a term that you take advantage. You strike while the iron is hot. McFarlane Toys took advantage of the Snyder Cut Justice League. Couple statue companies took advantage of the Snyder Cut. I know Prime One Studios is still profiting from this film. And I want to say Iron Studios is also doing it. I know NECA, I'm not NECA, McFarlane Toys has been very lucrative with this IP specific to the Snyder Cut of Justice League, not the Josh Whedon version. And it doesn't make any sense. We're still waiting on pre-orders to drop. I'm still waiting on the Endgame. Me personally, I really want the Endgame chapter to close for me. I still have a few multiple pre-orders for Hot Toys Endgame, and I want it to end. I want that to close. I want the figures that I have on pre-order to ship so that I can move on with my life. That way I can focus on other existing pre-orders. This is one of the reasons too why I stopped day one pre-ordering figures through Sideshow or just anybody right now. Because it just doesn't financially, logically, it doesn't make any sense at all. That I'm one of the few individuals that I do have Pennywise, the Dancing Clown Hot Toys version on pre-order, and it's approaching a 2-year wait list. Now, I get it. Last year was horrible and a lot of such things, but that's all fine and dandy. And as a Hot Toys collector, I've adapted my strategy as to which characters and which figures I'm going to be adding to my collection back there. Right? I don't want to get buried in my collection, so I collect the things that I love and like, and I don't want to abandon my pre-orders. I typically will keep a principle of integrity. I'm like, yeah, I really want the Iron Patriot from Endgame. I really want the Pennywise. I really want the Mark 85 Battle Damage. I really want these characters that are going on 2+ years and so forth. So if you're excited for the release, have fun waiting for 2025. Yeah. Now that seems to be the ongoing joke with the Cyborg, right? It got teased, and it's probably going to be several years down the road where he'll eventually be delivered, right? I'm more concerned, not concerned. I'm observed or my theories regarding why they would have done such a thing right now in already a competitive, stressful collecting landscape right now. It doesn't make any sense. So I've had a lot of time. I was working today. I've had a lot of time to think about this, right? Most hot toy collectors who collected the Justice League, a lot of them have incomplete collections. It's phenomenal. A lot of them, lost faith in the Justice League hot toy figures, and a lot of them either sold off most of their figures or have incomplete. I know I'm going to talk about my buddy Sean, who lives out here. He ended up picking up the Flash like the week prior to the film because he knew it would tent pole. So he didn't even have a complete collection up until that point because he knew, hey, Danoby, if this film takes off, I'm going to get screwed. So most educated veteran collectors knew that if this film was going to be a huge success, it would greatly influence the secondary market when it comes to the Hot Toys Justice League figures. It's been years, right? When did the movie come out? 2016, and then a lot of the figures the year prior, and then I think the last one associated with the film was Superman, and was that last year? When did the Superman Justice League? When did that drop? I mean, that's the one that took like 2 years. It was ridiculous, right? I'm losing track of all these announcements. Yeah, I am too. 2, 3. I am too. It is a lot. I've had to resort to building a Google spreadsheet because I need to know when certain things are dropping, when certain things are not dropping. So it's really important to me. If I don't exercise restraint, if I don't exercise logic when it comes to my collection, I could run the risk of tapping out. It's plain and simple. I don't. I've been doing this for a long time, and probably since 2012, I came one time to almost tapping out. and I was able to rebound. But I've been steady. When I want something, I typically will get it. And I enjoyed the Joss Whedon Justice League film. I really did. I was one of the few. I have all the characters that were released by Hot Toys, and I extremely love the Snyder cut of Justice League. So it was, yeah, it was a slap in the face. I remember it was a slap in the face that when the movie finally took off, a lot of folks in the Hot Toys collector community was like, "Wow, I really love this movie," and it greatly affected the secondary market. A lot of Hot Toy collectors out there did not care what it cost. They were going to go out on eBay and they were going to build their Justice League to represent their love for the Snyder Cut film. I don't think Hot Toys is going to make money on the release of Cyborg figure, and you have to hear me out on this. I have a theory. My theory is that they teased the Cyborg figure. And if you noticed on the Facebook page, there was a hashtag where we're listening to you. I think they're taking a different market and approach to their audience and to the collectors community. I think they came this close last year to facing near extinction. Right? There's been several people that have shared documents with me and have told me that, Hot Toys came this close last year. A lot of companies folded last year because of the events that was 2020. And I suspect that Hot Toys may be under not so much new management, but they're definitely taking a different approach as to how they're moving forward. So my theory is with the whole Cyborg tease is that I suspect that they're probably going to take a loss on it, but it's a strategic loss on the release of Cyborg. I honestly think, this is my theory now, unfortunately I won't be able to prove it, but they teased the Cyborg figure and they will eventually release the Cyborg figure as a thank you to the collector community. That's what I really do. Yeah. Sometimes when you're running a company, you have to take one for the team. You have to certain things. I've been in sales my whole life, and sometimes you have to give away a few T-shirts, and you have to give away a few prizes and so forth. I think my theory is that they are moving forward with the Cyborg figure because as a gesture and a thank you to the collector community. And I'm basing my theory on the hashtag and the way that it was presented to the audience. I mean, to the collector community. I think it's a wise. I think it's a phenomenal strategic move that they were able to do this in an already frustrated, hectic, chaotic pre-order delivery schedule, right? We've had other YouTubers and other streamers talk about, hashtag boycott Hot Toys, hashtag, this, enough of Hot Toys. Everybody, I mean, and I was watching the live streams, there were people out there who were losing their mind over that re-release of the Chrome Mandalorian where they showed a comparison before and after. It was out of control. And I got to see that. And it really opened up my eyes. It really did. It because that's something that Hot Toys has always been very spontaneous about when it comes to things like that. So it didn't affect me. And it didn't affect most veteran collectors that I stay in contact with. But if you're new to collecting, yeah, it would have been a shock that they're re-releasing the Mandalorian bigger and better in the short amount of time span. Now, I do agree with a lot of streamers out there, live streamers, that Hot Toys is listening to the community, and they have their bots and spies listening to the streams and listening to us and going through social media. I think they've never had to do that before in the past, but last year's events changed the game, right? They changed the game. You have companies like Sideshow Collectibles where they've focused heavy on their social media presence as something that they've never been known to do before, where they do their live stream unboxings and so forth. This is coming from Sideshow. Sideshow knows that the industry is changing and you have to adapt, you have to change. If you don't, you run the risk of being forgotten or being thrown into the Loki void. You're erased from existence. We've seen the less than the last 10 years, we've seen major blue chip stock companies disappear. We've seen Kodak, Sears, Toys R Us. It's a long list, Blockbuster. And no retail establishment is safe, is protected. You have this monster cloud out there of Amazon out there, and you have to really engage, and you have to really adapt, and you have to know when to turn left and then to turn right. And I honestly believe that they teased Cyborg, and I believe that they're going to release Cyborg as a gesture and as a thank you. And I don't think they're going to make a lot of money on this. They may even take a loss on it. I really do. I think it's going to be a phenomenal figure. I think it's going to go above and beyond. And is it a way to shut the audience up? Probably. But it could be seen in so many different ways why they're doing this, why they're teasing a Cyborg figure and gaining the hype. Let me pause here for a second. Let me look at DX. I'm thinking about jumping back in. Hello, everybody jumping in. Blazer up. Amelia, they're testing the waters. They could be, Amelia. They could be very well be testing the waters. Give us Shazam. I don't know. Give us Shazam. They would, dude, this is madness. Loki will drop at least 2 figure announcements. Book of Boba will have at least 3 announcements this year. What the hell do they do? They can't fulfill this. I have the confidence that they probably will fulfill their pre-orders. It's just, it'll be years. It'll be years. Would you prefer a die-cast Cyborg or a normal material one? I think it'll be plastic. I think it'll be a very intricate, highly detailed plastic Cyborg. I don't think it'll be next level die-cast. I really don't. And that goes into my theory that I think they're doing this as a thank you and as a gesture of goodwill to usher in an era of peace between the collectors and Hot Toys. I've always felt that Hot Toys, they've always acted like a bunch of dicks. They never really engaged the collector community within social media, and they've never had to either. They've never had a reason to talk to us Joe Schmoes, right? They can do whatever they want, right? They've never had a reason to honestly care about what us little peons, right? Even though we're the ones that are dropping, hundreds of, thousands of dollars on this stuff, right? These aren't $20 Star Wars Blacks or Marvel Legends, right? And they grew to a level of power. So are there other sharks in the water? Sure. There's these little pirateer companies out there that are schlocking out other, no-name characters like Juggernaut and all that stuff, taking advantage of the characters that Hot Toys feels deemed has no value, right? But they teased it, Cyborg, and they're going to release it. I would have never honestly thought. Now, I mentioned earlier in the live stream that there's other multiple companies taking advantage of the Snyder Cut. So I think it was a strategic move where, hey, Hot Toys, the board members, we're kind of missing out on this. You have a company like Prime One Studios that is making buku money on the Snyder Cut IP, Snyder Cut Justice League, not Josh Whedon, the Snyder Cut. And, when you see things like this, like Steppenwolf, like, where the collector community is just And here's the interesting thing about Prime One Studios, right? Their Snyder Cut Justice League pieces. I know with the Black Superman, it was numbered, and I want to say it's gone in a wait list. So think about that. Prime One Studios is flexing their sales to outside competitors, right? Hey, we're going to make, 500 pieces of the Prime One Studios Justice League. And I pre-ordered it, and that went in a wait list, I would say a week after it was announced. It was really, really fast. And they showed X amount of numbers, and it's gone in a wait list. That's Prime One Studios honoring their collectability status and also showing to outside competitors, hey, we're still making money on this. Snyder Cut, The Dark Side, they got me on it. I pre-ordered The Dark Side. Steppenwolf, I'm probably going to pre-order it. I had the luxury of visiting a Prime One Studios kiosk when I was on my last trip in Japan, Tokyo, Japan, and it was phenomenal. It was such a unique experience. I got to see the level of quality, the level of detail that Prime One Studios delivers in their products. It's a Japanese-based company. They do a bang-up job. Now, am I promoting statue collecting or not? No, I love my action figures. I love my my toys, my 1/6 scale, but I am kind of dipping my big toe into statue collecting. I've made certain modifications in my room to anticipate these pieces. But my point is that these companies out there are still profiting from the Snyder Cut film that debuted on HBO Max early in the year, which is now part of the subscription service. And you have Prime One, you have McFarlane Toys, and then you have Iron Studios too, which makes the 1/10 scale. They're making the 1/10 Black Superman. So I honestly think that somebody at Hot Toys, like, hey, we could knock out multiple birds by teasing the Cyborg and still being somewhat profitable. Yeah, it's going to take a couple of years to or 2 or 3. Yeah, probably. But they're doing it though. Are they going to make a lot of money on the side? I don't think so. But I don't think that's the end game for them on the Cyborg figure. I think the whole teased aspect of the Cyborg figure is a phenomenal distraction. And my God, does it work? Does it work? If there was ever a situation where I stopped and paused and, like Aries from 6 Scale Cantina, where he spills his coffee, I was clutching my pearls. I was like, really? Like, they're doing this? They're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't, it defies logic. It defies. Most collectors abandoned that ship. Only the dedicated, I hate to say this, but I mean, the most dedicated Justice League collectors still have the original Justice League, right? I mean, that has to have a level of dedication. I kept them. I'll show it to you. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Look, I still have them. See? I never once ever thought about selling them. I really, really do enjoy my Justice League collection. I even kit bash the Man of Steel there. See, I even have, and this is the statue, the 1/6 scale statue from DC Collectibles. So I still made the effort of getting Cyborg. Now, I guess he's now a placeholder, and that's where my Cyborg is going to go. But nonetheless, though, I stuck with it. I really did, because I really did enjoy the Joss Whedon. Now, do I prefer the Snyder Cut? Oh, absolutely. The Snyder Cut is definitely so much better. Got that right. But I kept them. I guess I never gave up. I never gave up faith. I never gave up faith in the IP, even though most who follow me know that my tier is Marvel, Star Wars, right? And remember with Star Wars, right? I love Star Wars. I don't trust Star Wars. And then it's DC, and then it's the miscellaneous schlock that I tend to collect that just blows my mind, right? But they're doing it. They are doing it. And what do I personally think? Like, hey, Danoby, what if this really is a olive branch to the community to kind of please us, because a lot of us are frustrated, right? You know, a lot of us are really, really frustrated. The whole Mandalorian situation was a big. I think it stirred the water. The whole situation with Iron Man and the extra and the head sculpt with Tony was a big situation. There was a situation with Ant-Man, and yeah, it was a big deal. It was definitely a big deal, and I think it's a phenomenal strategic move if they are doing it as a thank you to the Hot Toys collector community. I think it's brilliant, because I still feel that they're not going to be very profitable on it, but I don't think that may be important to them, if that makes sense. So they can always make it up on the Neon Tech Iron Mans, all the reissues on the Mark 47, the Batman Tumbler, and they are going through a big DC kick right now. So would they re-release any of the other existing characters? I don't know. I would suspect not, since their plate seems pretty full, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's look at some. Let me look at some questions here. Let's see if I can. Hello, Marin Mock from Germany. I know this is my late stream because I know I'm catering to the other side of the world. I know it's either in the afternoon or the morning out there. This is a little bit different. Can't remember this way campaign center guide. Well, this video is on the topic of Cyborg. What are your opinion on fan entitlement? It's kind of funny, collector man. We as collectors have stomped our feet for a lot of different things. All right. We cry, we moan, we bitch on certain things that we want. We can go down the list. I know the one thing that comes into me is the Batman 66. Right? There's a lot of stuff that they've teased at the San Diego Comic-Con show and these and the toy fair shows in Singapore and so forth. They tease a lot. That's one of the big things I enjoy about I miss about San Diego Comic-Con. I never missed a show since 06 until last year and this year as well. Right? They're doing a virtual streaming schlocky little mess thing, which I don't care. I care about being there in person. I care about looking at the prototype figures. That's the reason I spend a lot of money to travel to San Diego, is because I know that it is a wonderful treat to see the prototypes in person, and I try to document as much because I know that nothing is official, right, until it goes into pre-order. Now, when would the Cyborg figure be? I don't know. Will it go into pre-order? I would suspect so. I really do. I honestly, genuinely feel that they're going to be announcing this pre-order very soon, not the end of the year, probably within the next 30 to 60 days, maybe even within the month of July, since July is a big toy fair month. So, battle damage. And see, this is the thing too. This is a perfect question right here. When is the battle damage endgame Iron Man coming out? Who the hell knows? This is the frustration that I was referring to. A lot of us in the collector community, I'm like, enough of this crap of day one pre-order. It serves me, the collector, no incentive, no benefit to day one pre-order anymore. The only person that it provides a benefit to is the person that gets to sit on my $50 or 60. Yeah, pre-orders are that much right now. If you're pre-ordering that blurb that's going to show up in 2 years, it says next year, but nothing is set in stone right now. There's a list of figures that are backed up going on 2+ years, right? I can do a whole live stream on it just to talk about the stuff that's just been shelved and forgotten. Pennywise, the Captain America, the 2012 version from Endgame, the Loki from Endgame. Hell, we're in a tentpole situation right now with Loki in the series. You know, why wouldn't you want to drop that Loki now to capitalize on the profits, right? So there's a whole bunch of the Rescue finally dropped, the Iron Patriot, Smart Hulk. Aren't people worried about Smart? I remember everybody fell in love with Smart Hulk. There is a ton of stuff that's backed up. That's why I started the videos. This doesn't make any sense. I would have never in a million years thought that they would have teased a cyborg. So you have to think outside the box, right? You have to think outside the box. And I mentioned earlier, for those that are just jumping in, my theory is that this teased cyborg is knocking out multiple birds with one stone. They're, like I said, I don't think they're going to be very profitable on it. They'll probably break even if they make it. I just don't think it's going to be a runaway hit with the cyborg figure, just because, yes, there's a small faction of rebel collector fighters out there that they go on social media, and every time there's a post announcement, oh, where is #cyborg? Yeah, it's a small little rebel, little pitiful band of rebels. All they do is #cyborg. It's futile, but they're doing it. Are they doing it for that? I don't, like I said, I think they're knocking out multiple. I think they're to A, shut the little whiners down, B, a olive branch to the community as a thank you, right? As a distraction, because a lot of us were still bent out of shape about the clone Mandalorian and the Tony head stuff, and they'll probably make some money on it. They may be profitable on it. Who knows? I don't think I think they missed the boat for the pre-order on that, but they still can. They could be flexing. It could be flex. Hot Toys has been known to show off and flex. They're almighty. They do that all the time. They do that at Comic-Con conventions all the time. There's certain figures out there that have been known to be a flex. Like, hey, we're probably going to break even on this, but we're going to announce it as a pre-order. A perfect example of I think, I can't prove this, is the Cable figure, right? The Cable from Deadpool. That to me is a flex figure. Are they going to make a lot of money on that? I don't think so, but they're doing it probably to make a point on the secondary pirate market, where you have these little third-party companies who take advantage of that. Let's segue into the little pirateer toy companies, right? Let's use that. If Cyborg was in such high demand, if Cyborg was so wanted, if Cyborg was so revered, right? Why didn't one of those little pirateer companies make a Cyborg figure? Hell, they make about every other generic tchotchke little character, background character. Why wouldn't they have made a Cyborg figure? They had plenty of years. They can usually announce a figure and pump it out in 6 months with some shortcuts taken. Why wouldn't So-So Toys or Toys Era or one of those little companies have tackled a Cyborg figure? Because they probably felt the same way that Hot Toys did. There wasn't a big demand for a Cyborg figure. I mean, Jesus, they're making every little. They made a Joy from Blade Runner, for crying out loud, and the movie Tint. Blade Runner 2049 tanked in theaters, and the little pirateer companies out there are still schlocking characters from that film. To kind of put that into perspective, which is the same reason why I feel that the whole Cara Dune situation, right? It was artificially created by a small little band of rebels out there of collectors. I don't think a Cara Dune figure would have sold. No, I don't think so. based on her character on the Star Wars Black Series and everything else, she sat. Her action figure sat on shelves. I bought her on Amazon Prime for $15 just because she was cheap. So I find it hard to believe that Cara Dune would have sold very well as a Hot Toys figure. I mean, they're very open with the community. Let's jump into some questions here. I mean, you know, 2 birds, 1 Victor Stone. There you go. I'll take that. I'll take that. Again, I think it's a brilliant move that Hot Toys is doing this. I really do. I think it's a brilliant move. And I just, like I said, using these examples that I've shared with you, where these other third-party companies never decided to tackle a Cyborg figure, right? Because they felt it was not in their best interest. But yet Hot Toys is doing it now. So it's one of those things that it makes you wonder, you know, what is the end game behind that? Hot Toys News puts them out that we're looking at demand and numbers on it. Put news out that we're looking. Yes, and again, I've seen this artificial demand of Hot Toy of Hot Toy collectors, right? How many the thing I've noticed with Hot Toy collectors, and it's probably this new generation, is that when it comes time to bat, a lot of them aren't. What I mean by that is that when you get that notification from Sideshow, it's ready to charge and ship, a lot of them are either canceling or moving their pre-order to something else. We saw a lot of that. We saw a lot of that with Endgame, Infinity War. They took so long, right? The pre-orders took so long to deliver that most collectors knew about the loophole and where you can cancel and you can keep your non-refundable deposit if the allotted amount of time exceeds what was issued originally. So it would be in Hot Toys' best interest and Sideshow's best interest, if they want to stay profitable, that they do need to commit to the schedule of deliveries. Otherwise, they're going to suffer more pre-order cancellations. So anybody that pre-ordered the Endgame Iron Patriot, it's past that window. So if you want to cancel it now and collect your $40, what's a non-refundable deposit in that? Because that's an expensive figure. So if you want your $40, you can borrow from Paul to pay Peter, and you can move that non-refundable deposit to another one. You can do that now. And let's hope that that does not happen within the already 40+ figures of Star Wars Hot Toys. Because if they start to run into a delay segment where they sandbag it and they hold it back, and then like, oh, cool, we're going to announce multiple pre-order drops in next year in the holiday season, it could create a huge rift with collectors. Because again, these aren't $20 action figures; these are pretty expensive. I got the Ronin from, and there you go. We even got the Ronin. That's what I'm saying. It's examples like that. We got Ronin from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, really? Were you folks out there really clamoring for a Ronin 1/6 scale figure? It's things like that. It's just like, really? You guys really wanted a Ronin from Guardians of the Galaxy? Carmichael Lopez, great point. That's and I'm trying to theorize. I'm trying to understand. Years of retail, I'm like, why would they do this? It doesn't make any sense. Why would they tease a Cyborg unless it serves them a benefit more than financial gains? Again, companies have been known to do things as a gesture of goodwill, right? It's not uncommon. It's like Lego. If you collect Lego and you're a dedicated collector, they give you free samples and little free kits all the time because it's about customer service. It's about customer satisfaction. It's about customer loyalty. Lego does that. Lego's one of the companies that, you know, you're dropping $600 or what on the Death Star or a Millennium Falcon, and they want to make sure that you register your points and all that stuff, because they give you coupons and they give you little kits and things like that. It's customer loyalty. Hasbro does it too, I think. If you do their Hasbro Pulse, there's a few incentives on there. Mattel used to do it with Matty Collector. I don't know what they're doing now, but it's good business, right? I feel like there's a rule of acquisition associated with this. I know there is. If somebody has a good rule, a Ferengi rule of acquisition about customer loyalty, share it in the comment. I'll post it, because I feel like there's a rule of acquisition on this. So that's what I'm getting at. It's not so much about like how we're going to make a lot of money on Cyborg. No, sometimes you have to look at the grander picture. And again, I'm not hating on them. Was it designed as a distraction, as a olive branch to me? Oh God, yeah, I'm eating it up. I'm distracted. I'm not worried about the 30-something plus Star Wars pre-orders. I'm excited that I get Cyborg. Like, really, there's an opportunity where Cyborg can actually enter my Justice League collection. Oh, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. What do we have here? Bat Bro. Hot Toys is big enough to take a hit on a figure, so I agree with Danoby. And I also think that they want to go in with Darkseid and maybe Steppenwolf. You see some companies going all in on Snyder Cut. Yes. Yes. Prime One Studio is, in my opinion, they are probably the ones that are taking the biggest leap of faith. Now, I wonder if the Snyder Cut, if it fared well in Japan. I have to believe, and I have to suspect that the Snyder Cut Justice League is probably trending numbers on HBO Max out there. I don't think they're using HBO Max. They're using their own streaming service. But those are numbers that HBO or Warner Brothers would gladly share. They usually typically will share those numbers with a licensee, right? So if they're selling a license to you, hey, you want to make statues on this? You want to make figures on this? Well, we're asking for X amount of dollars. And as a toy company, I say, well, wait a minute, Warner Brothers, you want this for this specific Snyder Cut IP? This movie wasn't released in theaters. Show us some numbers. Oh, well, look at the streaming numbers here, because they can do that now, right? They can share their streaming numbers. Not only can they share their streaming numbers, but they can also show, hey, look, we've had multiple viewings. I already confessed in this live stream that I've seen this film 4 times already. I love it. They justified the Flash. I mean, what they did with the Flash was brilliant. Like they gave him respect again. Like the Flash. Like, wow. Like, it's just that whole ending was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I can watch that ending over and over again. I absolutely can. Oh, that's right. I missed one. Bat Bro. Weta is also going on that line. They're even making a side. I would be sorry. You see, this is what I'm talking about. There's other companies out there that are still profitable. And what if Warner Brothers sold the licensing rights to this film cheap? Because maybe they didn't have confidence in it. We don't know. I don't know what the, because I know you can sell the license on certain characters. You can do the license on Harley. You can do it on Superman and yada yada. So think about it. Warner Brothers could be, I mean, because we all know that the real money in a film is merchandise anyway. Merchandise. That's where the real money, not in a $10 movie ticket. It's about selling that $20 action figure, or a $250 Hot Toys, or $500 statue, whatever. That's where the money's always been. But yes, I forgot that Weta was also doing it too. So that's a big deal. That's a huge big deal. Marketing strategy. I try to look at things with a little bit of sense of logic. I like collecting. I like playing with toys, but I also like to stay in control of my collection, right? I reached a point in my life where, like, this is cool. I can kind of almost get what I want, but I don't want to get buried in my collection. I've outgrown that. I've outgrown having crap piled in, and like, no, that doesn't do it for me anymore. Now it's adding things to my collection that make me happy, that I enjoy. That's why when I should probably do a room tour, because I have things in my collection. You're like, oh, why would he ever collect that? Because it's just it. It's either connected to a point in my life or something. But like NASA, like I'm a huge NASA fan. I'm a big NASA aficionado, and I love the spaceship and the space shuttle and all that good fun stuff. So I also like Fison too. So my collection is all over the place. But again, if Hot Toys is doing this as a thank you or as a distraction, right? Because we all got bent out of shape over a bigger, better chrome Mandalorian. Yeah, I'll take it. I absolutely will take it. Why does Hot Toys not complete in teams? It's not so much about that, is that they feel that certain characters will not perform as others. For example, the Lone Ranger, the one with Johnny Depp, he didn't sell. So everybody complained about, where's the Lone Ranger, right? You guys remember that? Oh, that's when I started. Ooh, that was before your times, kiddie. That was back in 2012, 2013. That's when I started. You kids out there don't remember about that Lone Ranger and that Johnny Depp, do you? Oh, back in our day. Yeah, that was a big deal. Oh my God. That was when I was on Facebook. And I remember people for years, it finally died down after Civil War or rather, but I remember for years people still bitched about that they made the Johnny Depp, which was Tonto, and they never made the Lone Ranger. I would have bought it. Oh, I would have eaten it up. I always said that if they would have made the Lone Ranger and Tonto, which is Johnny Depp, I would have bought both of them, but they gave up on it because the film tanked. The film was crud. It was bad. He says, just noticed the space extra. I wasn't kidding, was I? I do love space. I do love NASA. I do like rockets. SpaceX is going to take us to the moon or to Mars. That's why we get 1,000 Iron Mans. Yeah, it's plain and simple. Why do we get Iron Man is the product that built Hot Toys. We all know that. It's the foundation, it's the root core. Anytime they need an infusion of cash, just re-release one of the heavy hitters. Re-release the War Machine Mark I. Re-release this. The Mark 47. Re-release one of the heavy hitters. All you have to do is do an eBay search, and you know which of the Iron Men are trending really, really well. Just plain and simple. I feel there's a big Lebowski's coming home. Sideshow sent me a free Tonto. Look at that. That's right. That's right. At one point, Sideshow Collectibles was heavy on so many Tontos that they were giving them away for free. And I do remember that on Facebook. And it did piss me off that I never got one, because at that time I was going heavy on Hot Toys. This is probably around 2015, 2014. So I never got one. There was also another character too, Zod. They were giving him away for free, and I never understood why I never got any of them. I'm like, they never, probably because they saw my spending habits back then. I never got any of those free figures at Sideshow. They would shove in a box or something back in the day. No, the SpaceX shirt. So I think that's going to be it, unless anybody has any more questions. But that's my theory. That is my theory on the Cyborg Hot Toys situation. And let's go to let me go to Sideshow here. Share. Let's go to Sideshow for a second here. When you go to the Sideshow website, right, and you type in Snyder Cut, those are the keywords, just Snyder Cut. And you see what's being brought up right there, right? There's still, Sideshow is still making money off of it, right? Which of these are associated with the actual Snyder Cut film? DC is still someone going strong. Well, you have the Dark Side there. You have Harley Quinn. I guess the only real merch on Sideshow, I guess, would probably be the Black Suit Superman. That's from Iron Studios. And then Nightmare Batman. That's the Hot Toys version. And then we saw Prime One Studios. Prime One Studios is they're the ones that I think are the clearest winners when it comes to this specific IP, the Snyder Cut Justice League. They're the ones that are like, look, we're and I have to believe that the Snyder Cut was well received in Japan. It must be like a Holland open. It must be like a masterpiece, because oh my God, Prime One Studios, they're just like they're putting all their chips on the table on this, and they are showing it. Let's go back to Prime One Studios. I wanted to show you something here really quick. Prime One Studios. Let's see here. All right, so we're back at Prime One Studios. Let's search. I wonder if the Snyder Cut keywords would pull it up here. Snyder Cut. You got no, that did not work. So there's probably pulled up under. Let's just use Justice League. Let's see. All right. Justice League. So look at this. I mean, $1,500 for that Steppenwolf. And it looks like they just pulled it right out of the film. And again, I'm not a statue collector. I mentioned earlier in the stream that I did pre-order a couple of these. I'm not going to transform my collection into a glorious statue museum, which sounds kind of cool. But I have a few statue pieces in my collection. I have the Rancor, right here. You can see them. You guys know I have the. Can you hold on? Wait. To the stream. There you go. You guys know I have the Rancor. There you go. Let's see if I can get the camera over there without tripping. But yeah, you can. Let's see here. I'm gonna get the. Well, this is the. If you're wondering, this is the Magicase Max 40 Plus. But yeah, I mean that's my Rancor. So I mean, every now and then you'll find a statue piece. Would Grogu? He's kind of a statue, right? Yeah, it's more of an articulated action figure, but he's fun. He is adorable. But yeah, I mean this is one of my newest one. There you go, Kylo. And then I have my hover Heavy Mandalorian, and then the speeder bike. So there we go. But yeah, and then there you go, Jabba. He counts as a statue. So I mean, I have a few statue pieces if they serve. I have a few statue pieces if they serve my need. If they serve a purpose, they'll end up in my collection. Plain and simple, right? Especially since the statue pieces that I do have with the Rancor and Jabba are 1/6 scale, so they work. They work to enhance my already existing figures. So, all right, I look at here. So I'm about to end this little late night stream. Prime One is killing it with Darkseid and Steppenwolf. It's insane. It's insane what they're doing with this thing. I've seen the photos, and I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, because I do have the DX version of Darkseid, and then I have the Snyder Cut version of Superman right here. Let's take a look at him. So limited edition. So there's two versions. Is it? Oh, so he's not on. Oh, he is on waitlist. See, I wasn't kidding. There he is, waitlist. So that's the example you see right there. There's the waitlist. That's the thing that Prime One Studios is showing to the world and its competitors, that we're going to commit to X amount of pieces and boom, waitlist. And this was a few weeks right after I pre-ordered it. So I like that. As collectors, we like that taste of exclusivity. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Hot Toys ever did this? Wouldn't that be a wonderful? It'd be an aggressive little competitive world, wouldn't it? If Hot Toys says, "Hey, we're only going to make 1,000 units, and that's it." Oh my God, it would turn into like the Hunger Games. It would just you know what would happen, right? If Hot Toys ever committed to a specific number allotment, it would what's the word? It would de-shift the market, and it would create artificial inflation. And what I mean by that is that because if you know that you only have 1,000 pieces, and you have an assortment of retailers that can step up their pre-orders, right? They can purchase X amount of units, keeping them away from collectors, and then artificially inflating the price. So maybe something like that probably wouldn't be the best interest in the Hot Toys 1/6 scale community, but I can dream, because I would love to have committed numbers of Hot Toys. But I understand that probably wouldn't be the best idea, because a $200 Hot Toys figure can then quickly turn into $800. Statues are a little bit different, because navigating the world of statue collecting, it's a different beast. It exists in a different realm. It's a different collector. It's everything. It's the price point. Even at 500 units, these aren't $200 action figures. So it's very different. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not going to go heavy into statues, but I did love Zack Snyder's Justice League. I really did enjoy this movie. I thought they did such a phenomenal job. But I did pre-order the Superman Zack Snyder, and I did pre-order there's a DX version of this. So he's still available, but I know there's 2 different versions, show details. So he's still available. It's not like Superman where he went into a wait list. So for now, he's still available. And then, but clearly they're doing well enough that they were confident enough to release Steppenwolf. I mean, really, Steppenwolf. I mean, Hot Toys didn't touch Steppenwolf, but Prime One Studios, they feel confident. Well, it was the Josh Whedon version, so that wouldn't be fair. I will say though that McFarlane is touching this character. They are making him as an action figure. He was badass. He was a cool character. Yeah. So I think I'm going to end it right here. I'm going to take it out. So that's my theory. Appreciate the comments, the folks that were able. I know this is kind of late. I stay up late. I'm a night owl. It's what I do. And yeah, this was fun. Appreciate you, man. Glad I can catch your stream. Thank you for the I know this was late. My life is always hectic and I'm always working, but I appreciate the folks that were able to make the time and hang out with me. Prime One is killing it. Any other questions? They did that for Suicide Squad, but I mean, there was around 3,000 made. I mean, questions here. Anybody else? Wish I knew you were alive. You sure? Well, if you clicked on the bell for the notification, you would have been notified, James, right? I would have tuned it from the beginning. Come on. Whose fault is that, James? Are you clicking on that bell for my notifications? You know, most who follow me, I'm very spontaneous. I don't tend to work on schedules. I like to crash other people's streams, though. I do find that entertaining when I have the time. I know Dante had his Man of Hot Collectibles. He sent me an invite earlier today, and I came this close to crashing, but then Aries jumped onto his stream. I'm like, 5 people on Dante's stream. That's pretty crowded in there. So I backed away. I think for me personally, I think 5 people, 5 guests, or 1 host and 4 guests that's the max. Even though Yard Stream I think can handle up to 8. I think 5 would be the limit. But yeah, make sure anybody that's here watching me or got the notification, make sure you hit the bell, because I may do another unscheduled live stream, but I need to do some unboxings. I've just been so busy. But anyway, 6 is considered an order. You're so stupid. 6 is considered. For shame, this is a family show. Where's your shirt? Stupid. The bell is clicked. Yeah, bull. You would have known. You would have known. Anyway, that's my theory. let's see. Oh, and here's the best part, because you heard my theory on my stream. You know very well that there's going to be other streamers out there that are going to add upon it. Because while I was working today, I always listen to everybody else. I'm out. I work from home. I'm answering emails. I answer phone calls. But in the background, I always have other YouTubers that I follow. I follow Geeking Out, 16 Cantina, Man About Collectibles. I PJ from Paradox Nerds. Shit, every now and then he just knocks it out of the park with his guests. So I always listen to all of them. And nobody ever considered that maybe they were doing this as a thank you to collectors. What if Hot Toys was teased Cyborg and releasing them as a thank you? It's not uncommon from companies to do that, but it is a shock that it comes from Hot Toys. Good night, folks. Oh, you want to see Justice League again? How about that? I like showing this off here. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. How many of you committed to collecting them? How many of you kept your figures? I may have to raise them up. I work in tiers. If you ever noticed my room, it's all in tiers. The top is MCU, DC, second, and then Star Wars. But I am loving my Star Wars, so I may have to bring that up. May have to bring it up, and then maybe, I don't know. I can't ruin Joker's Club. That's trending really well. You folks have seen Joker's Club, right? The little club I've done there. My cord. You've seen that, right? Oh, yeah. All sorts of things happen there. But anyway, it's getting late. I feel like gaming. What's this thing on? I feel like gaming. I play Overwatch. Well, there's playing Overwatch. So that's it. Yeah, I never would have thought that they would have teased, or I'm still shocked. I can't believe that they're doing it. You know,